Isaiah chapter 14. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So it was a time when Israel was ruled over, but it won't be that way anymore. They're going to rule over their oppressors. They'll be delivered to the land that they'll possess. It shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. If you've been feeling sorrow, you've been feeling sadness, unbearable sadness, almost unending sadness, and it shall come in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear. If you've been possessed by fear, it's completely turned over to it for what could happen to you, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, have you been a slave, and in bondage to those around you, or to a particular situation. He's going to give it rest from that bondage where you are made to serve. Thou that shall take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. So it seems that, it's been the cry for so long, and yet finally it has happened. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked, and the scepter of the rulers. Let it be done. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nation in anger, is persecuted, and none hindereth. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to come, to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of nations. All they speak, and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy viols, and the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Thou art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? I'll explain it. That this is when he falls from heaven. The great battle breaks out, and Michael throws him into the lake of fire, and all the unrest and all the turmoil and all of the bondage that he's used to enslave Israel for that time, that ceases. And God is victor, and God is strong, and God is powerful, and he wins the battle. He's speaking to Lucifer right now. He says, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit all upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend high above the heights of the cloud. I will be like the Most High. It's what the enemy had said. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? It's a challenge. I think he heard that. He's heard it all along. This is Isaiah chapter 14. Let's repeat that. This is what the people will say. and yet thou shalt be brought. Go to 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and did shake kingdoms? That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. They that do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord. I will make it possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. And this is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In the year that King Ahaz died was this burden. Rejoice not, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come forth a cockatrice, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety, and I will kill the root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. How, O gate, cry, O city, thou whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer the messengers of the nation? That the Lord hath founded Zion,